You are listening to the Firewater Review, a podcast dedicated to whiskey reviews. I am your host, Seth Brown. I am joined by my co-host, Mr. Aaron Cave. Today, on this very special first episode of the Firewater Review, we are joined by guest reviewer, Mr. Rob Dean. And we will be reviewing Knob Creek Limited Edition 2001. Let's get started. Hello, fellas.
Hello.
Hey.
How's it going?
Good.
Good. How are you, Seth?
I'm doing well. What we're going to do on this show, this will be a weekly podcast that is featured on the ABV network. You may be familiar with that. It also hosts shows such as The Bourbon Show, The Last Beer Show, and we also have The Bourbon Daily that is now coming out as well. We have a couple other shows in the pipeline. This is one of the new ones, though, the Firewater Review. So on this show, what we will do, again, this is a weekly podcast, and we plan on reviewing whiskeys once a week. We're not going to limit it to just bourbon. We're going to do other whiskeys as well, so we may feature some scotches. We may even throw in a little curveball, feature some Canadian whiskey, maybe even some rum. I don't know about that, but yeah, we may get a little crazy here.
I like it.
Yeah, the main thing that we'll focus on, of course, is bourbon, but we will feature other whiskeys. One of the things that we'll also be doing on the show, we will have guest reviewers. Aaron and I may wing it on a couple of shows, and it just be the two of us. But today, we do have a guest, and his name is Rob Dean. He is the first guest that we have on this show, so he is our first guest reviewer. Welcome, Rob.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Congratulations.
I am thoroughly excited to be here.
Well, I hope so. And as I said, coming into the show, unfortunately, we have no prizes for the first guest, so you're out of luck there. Hey, I tell you what, you actually did get a prize. You did get a prize. You got a sample.
I got a sample. That is a great prize.
That is one of the best prizes.
Free bourbon is a great prize.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
It is. That is a prize in and of itself. And when I dropped the sample off yesterday to you, you said, hopefully someday you can get paid in whiskey.
Still working on that.
So you'll get there. So tell the listeners a little bit about who you are and what it is that you do and how you got onto a show like this.
I found some great guys. Well, my name is Rob Dean. I make whiskey and bourbon lamps along with rum lamps, different kind of other liquor bottle lamps. Actually, anything, any liquor bottle, wine bottle. Actually, I'll make a lamp out of anything.
Wow. You
give it to me and I'll lamp it. I haven't lamped a lot of things, but I definitely lamp a lot of bottles. But I do this in my spare time, but I actually work at the Georgia Aquarium. I am a swing technician in the dolphin show.
Nice.
Wow.
I'm a maker, done different things throughout my life. I'm the jack of all trades, as I'm known in my department. I've done everything from heating and air to video production. So that's me. And I kind of stumbled on to lamp stuff because I used to work at Cinebistro, the movie theater here in town. It's kind of like a dinner theater.
Yeah.
And I was a projection manager there actually, and that's how I kind of came into the lamp business. They obviously had a large bar. So they were always throwing away tubs and tubs of bottles a week. And I was like, man, I surely could do something with this. And then I started collect. That's pretty much when the avalanche of bottles that I have now has started. Seth, I showed Seth my bottle collection last night. I'm sure you can attest to the monstrosity of amount of bottles that I have.
Yes.
I have about 300 bottles in my garage right now. So.
Wow. Mountains of lamps.
Swimming in bottles. My wife loves it.
So where do you get some of the bottles, Rob?
I get bottles from all over the world, all over the country. Yeah. I'm not doing world yet. But I'm getting there. I get bottles mainly through my Instagram page, The Rob Company. If anybody wants to find me on Instagram, that's where I mainly am in the world, more than Facebook. I mean, you can find me on Facebook too at The Rob Co. But that's how I would see people. I follow a lot of bourbon people. There's a lot of people out there. a lot of great people. So, I started following a lot of people and getting in touch with people. And every time I saw somebody empty something, I would reach out to them. And then next thing I know, I got people sending me 60 pounds of bottles as I got yesterday. I don't know if you saw that, Seth, but
no,
somebody
I missed
sent
that
me
one.
60 pounds of bottles yesterday.
Wow.
So
wow.
This is probably the 5th box he sent me. He doesn't normally send me 60 pounds, but he's probably sent me 80, 85 bottles.
That's insane.
So
that is crazy. Yes.
I kind of do. I mean, people will send me a bunch of good stuff. I'm happy to send lamps for the most part.
Yeah.
It's payment.
So yeah, check him out on Instagram. He's got a great profile there, and you post some awesome pictures too. So definitely check him out there. And if you have empty bottles, then now you know who to contact with them.
Yeah, send me all of your bottles.
So speaking of apps, the other host here, Mr. Aaron Cave, you and I have known each other for about 2 years.
Yeah, going on 2 years.
And this is the first time. This just goes to show how awesome the world of the interwebs is. This is the first time that you and I have actually spoken. Correct.
We've shared a lot of samples and a lot of bottles between each other. And first time we've ever talked, though.
Yeah. So it was, what was the name of the app? Evan Haskell joked that it was Tinder. But
is that it? No, I don't think that was it.
We swiped right.
Yes.
No, it was Distilled.
Yeah.
And I haven't used that app. I don't even know if it's still around.
Yeah, I don't know either. It stopped working for me, so I just deleted it.
Yeah.
So, which, through Distilled, it's where we met our good friend Hasi.
Yep.
Hasi Berg. And, he's a great guy, and that was a good app. I don't know why it stopped working, but I'm glad we met you guys through it.
Yeah, it opened a lot of doors. I mean, Hasi had started the Son of Winston Churchill, which both you and I do reviews for it.
Yes.
And then from Hasi, I guess we all kind of lost track of each other after that app kind of shut down or quit working. And I think you and I were friends on Facebook, I think.
Yeah.
And then you'd reach back out to me after Hasi had gotten in touch with you. And then about that same time, or not long after, was when I got in touch with Steve, which was through Hasi, Steve Akeley. And then from Steve was Evan, and then that became the Bourbon Show. And then here we are recording a completely different show now on the same network. So
exactly, yes. And through Hasi is where I got in contact with Steve, and now I write a column for Steve in the Bourbon Zeppelin every month. So about high proof, single barrel, non-chill filtered bourbons. So if that's what you're into, check out the column.
Which is definitely your thing.
Yes, it is my thing.
So it's check out Bourbon Zeppelin. I do reviews for it occasionally. He, I think, all but fired me after I gave a really bad review of Jefferson's Manhattan. One episode, it was the one sentence review, but no, I'm kidding. I've done a few other reviews for it, but I am a occasional contributor to that. So anyway, that's a little bit about us. We are here to review a whiskey.
Yes, we are. So what are we reviewing?
Tonight we are going to review Knob Creek. Oh my gosh, this thing is stuck in the box.
You're just pulling it out.
Well, I pulled it out last night. That sounds really bad, but I pulled it out last night for the first time. That was to open the bottle and pour Rob's sample. So, Rob, you actually have the first pour out of this bottle of Knob Creek that I have. Tonight we're reviewing the Knob Creek 2001 limited edition small batch, which is 100 proof bourbon whiskey. And Aaron, what other information do we have about it?
Well, we get a lot of information about it, but I'm just, my bottle's almost empty.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. I'm surprised, I was just thinking, you're just pulling yours out and mine's almost gone.
This could make for a good review, though.
I know, because my review is gonna be maybe a little bit different than yours.
Yeah.
Right. So this is actually a really, really cool whiskey with a lot of kind of neat history to it. These were some of the last barrels that Booker Noe actually laid down at Knob Creek in 2001. And so Fred Noe, who is now master distiller, was looking at a spreadsheet of all the different Knob Creeks and realized, hey, these are from 2001. These are barrels that my dad put down. He goes, we need to keep these for something special.
Yeah.
So he kept them and let them age for 14 years, tasting them periodically till he felt like it hit the right Knob Creek flavor profile that he wanted. And so he did this. These batches. There's 3 batches in this, batch 1, 2, and 3. He did these as a tribute to his dad. And I don't know if you guys know this, but in 2001 is when Booker kind of gave the stewardship of Knob Creek to Fred.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he kind of stepped back and said, "Hey, this is your thing now." And so I thought that was kind of a cool thing. 2001 was when he laid these down, and then 2001 was also when he gave the stewardship of Knob Creek to Fred.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really cool thing about this whiskey. And I'm a huge Knob Creek fan. I'm a big Knob Creek single barrel fan. But for this stuff, 14-year Knob Creek is something special, I think. And I've been fortunate enough to taste a few barrel proofs that are over the 9-year mark, and I really dig this one. I could probably talk all night about this, but I'm not going to. So let's keep going.
No, that's cool. It is a bourbon show, so feel free to talk as long as you want, I guess. But yeah, so what batch is yours, Aaron?
Mine is batch 1.
Is it? Okay, well mine is too, so that works out well.
That's yeah.
Mine is actually number 12,133. So I don't know how limited edition this stuff is, but
well, so I actually was reading that they did around 12,000 for each batch, so it's probably somewhere close to somewhere between, I would say, 34 to maybe 37,000 bottles out there.
Okay.
Between all the batches. So, they're still sitting on shelves. This is still something you can go out and still get,
Yeah.
Depends on if you want to drop the money on it or not.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a somewhat, I guess, limited edition, it is, to your point, it is still easy to find on shelves. I mean, I know of several stores around the Atlanta area that still have it. And down in Florida, on where I go on vacation, there's a store that they had like cases of it sitting there, and they still had them the last time we were down there in November. So it is still readily available. Now that may be the later batches 2 and 3, but it is still available if you want a 14-year-old whiskey. And what's retail on this? I don't even remember.
It's around $130 here in Columbus, Ohio.
Okay,
but I don't know about you where you guys are at.
Yeah, I think it's about the same here. I can't remember. It's been a while since I bought it when it first came out. So, and I'm just not getting to open it. So, all right. So what we're going to do, we're going to go into a little break here, and we do the scores that we provide. These are based on a 100-point scale, and so we're going to go into a break. It'll seem really quick to you, but it'll be a little bit longer for us. And what we're going to do, each of us are going to provide some notes for this whiskey individually, and provide an individual score. And then at the very end of the show, we will average out the score. So you kind of get a nice round average between 3 people that have somewhat varying degrees of whiskey knowledge and whiskey tasting. So that's what we're going to do. When we come back, we will review this whiskey. All right, welcome back, everybody. Today on our first show, we are reviewing Knob Creek 2001 Limited Edition. And it just so happened by chance, we are all drinking from batch 1. Rob, I was able to give him a sample yesterday, so he is actually drinking from the same bottle that I am drinking from. And Aaron just so happened to have a bottle from the same batch. So what we're going to do, we're going to give each of our tasting notes, and then after that we will give a score, and then we will average the score out, and we will send everyone on their merry way. So with that, Aaron, I will hand it over to you to give your reviews.
All right. So, the first thing I notice when I look at this, I always look before I smell and taste. Mm-hmm. It's very dark. It's like almost like a rust color. The legs on it, it's super oily looking. It's just the way it slides down the glass when you swirl it's just great. The nose on it is just, it's a great nose. It's oak forward, but I kind of expected that, being 14 years. I kind of expected the oak to kind of take over. But, I always give it maybe, I give it a sniff, and then I usually kind of sit back for a minute, and then I give it a couple more. And once you let it sit for a minute, the oak kind of dies down. It comes in with this strong vanilla, little caramel. I even catch a little bit of bananas, raisins, even some it reminds me of like smoked cherry wood with a little bit of like old leather. It's a really complex nose. It's I really dig it. If I could make a candle out of it, I would. I'm not gonna lie.
There's your next company, Rob. You're making candles out of bottles.
Yes, candles. But it's got a great nose. The palate's just phenomenal. I get a lot of like a sweet caramel corn, and also vanilla cream with that. It's kind of sweet up front. But no surprise, the oak just kind of takes over after that. Charred oak, a lot of like a smoky cherry tobacco, like I said, at the nose. And then, there's a nice spice to it, cinnamon, mm-hmm. Little burnt brown sugar, I think. I even catch a little bit of almost peanut brittle in it. And maybe some cloves in the end. And then the finish, it's long. It's not super long, but it's got a nice long finish to it. Mostly a spicy cinnamon with oak, and then it's kind of dry. Right at the end, it's just kind of leaves it a little dry. But all around, I think it's a great bourbon. Is it worth the price? I wouldn't say that. But I really dig it. I like the flavor. I like the nose. $130 now. If they priced it at 60, 70, I'd probably buy a couple bottles of it. But right now it's just it's not worth what they're asking for it. But special occasion bourbon, if you're looking for that, I think it's good. I really like it. I give it a 89 on a 100 scale.
Nice.
So, yeah. But I'm a huge Knob Creek fan, so it's hard not to give it a good score, knowing it, because it is a good bourbon. But I'm a little partial to this, so I'm looking forward to hear what you guys have to say.
Yeah, absolutely. So with that, Rob, if you want to take it away and
sure.
Let us know what you think of it.
First off, it smells. I get a lot of butterscotch. That's what I'm getting from this. And like you said, it's got a lot of spice to it. That's what I'm getting. And it's got a good smell. I like it. And it's like the color, like you said, it definitely runs. It's got good color. So it's kind of like a very, very thick. It kind of coats the side of my glass.
Yeah,
I like it. And it kind of smells like, it's got the oak smell, maybe even some rich mahogany. That's what I kind of smell too. I don't know. That could be my wood shop. I am sitting right next to a pile of walnut. So,
That's fair. That's fair. I've actually done that too. I've chopped wood for my barbecue pit. And I thought, God, this bourbon smells like total oak. Oh, I just chopped wood. That's why.
I was going to say walnut, but then I realized there's a 4-foot long piece of walnut next to me. That's clouding my vision. I apologize.
That's quite all right.
I'm sitting here in the heart of my lamp making workshop. So yeah, overall I like it. Like, the price is a little bit much to me. I think definitely 150. I was seeing 150, I think 130, 150 around. I think that's a little bit too much. But the one thing I would like also say is, being the bottle connoisseur that I am, I really like the package, the cool box that it comes in.
Yeah,
kind of also looks like walnut. I'm just all thinking about walnut right now. I'm sorry. The bottle's beautiful. The package, the wood box kind of has that. The Booker's kind of box to it. So yeah, I like it.
Good deal. So what would you rate this?
I rated it. It's 68. I didn't realize it would be. I feel like 68 sounds low, but I gave it a 68.
That's what I wanted you on here for.
Okay. Because I got down to the bottom and I was like, 60 out of 100. I don't know. It's not good. It sounds like I don't like it, but but I like it.
My heart just broke, Rob.
No, that's fair, man. That is fair. Like I said, there is no wrong answer here at all.
There is not.
I mean, everybody tastes different stuff. Some of what you picked up, Rob, is similar to what I picked up, which is similar to what Aaron picked up, but there's stuff that Aaron picked up that I'm not picking up. So everybody's going to pick up and taste a little bit different flavors and aromas than everybody else. So there really is no wrong answer when it comes down to it. And I think that's one of the good things about averaging these scores out is that, Rob, I think you've kind of admitted that you're a little green in this area.
I'm a novice.
And, Aaron and I do this, I would say quite a bit, but that still doesn't make us, experts by any stretch of the imagination. But it does give a nice average of, several different types of palates. So
yeah, I can usually tell you about the bottle more than I can tell you what's in the bottle. So
that's a fair comment. When you're drilling holes in them and you have over, close to 300, then that's a fair statement.
And I have just about everything, I think, in my stock. Everything from, Orphan Barrel to I have a bunch of Knob Creeks. And,
well, how about I give you this Knob Creek when I'm done with it?
That's perfect.
There you go.
I can better that because mine is almost empty, so
there
it'll be coming to you probably within a week.
Nice.
So, yeah. But what I love about this is, I always write down what you guys say, and I'll go back and taste this, the next day and go, oh, now, yeah, I'm picking that up now. I can really see that in here. And that's what I love about tasting with other people. They can kind of give you an insight on, what they feel like they're tasting and smelling. And when you go back to it, you go, oh, yeah, now I can see that. Yeah, that's what I love about this.
Yeah, and now it'll be in recorded form, so you can just go back and play it and listen to it.
Yeah.
So, I mentioned that this, I have not opened this bottle up until a couple of days ago when I poured my sample for Rob. So it was interesting to me to hear some of your notes, Aaron, because it is from the same batch. Who knows if it's from even a remotely close barrel in the warehouse or not. But
correct.
I did pick up a lot of similar notes to you, but then I'll get into it. So I liked the nose on this. It's a very complex nose, but it was easy for me at least anyway, to pick up the notes that I was catching from it. I mean, oak, as you mentioned, it's very oak forward.
Oh, yeah.
But for me, it doesn't overpower it so much. I love cinnamon. That usually lends itself to higher rise typically. but I love cinnamon flavors in it. So I did pick that up here. I did get a little bit of caramel, and I also picked up what seemed like pine to me. So, Rob, you mentioned, what was it, mahogany? You made
rich mahogany.
Yeah. So you might not be far off, really. I mean, because if I'm picking up pine, it's totally possible that you're picking up mahogany. Again, there's no wrong answer here. But yeah, I really like this nose on it. It was, like I said, it was very complex, but it was complex in that there were a lot of different aromas that I was picking up. But it really wasn't hard for me to kind of separate those aromas here. As far as the tasting, to me, it had a really great mouthfeel. It's got some good viscosity to it, really nice oiliness to it. And I picked up the oak right away. But for me, it wasn't too overpowering. It had a nice balance to it. And that kind of gave way to some black pepper for me. And then with the black pepper, it almost like it got spicier there for a little bit for me. It kind of went up. And that moved into the cinnamon flavors once again that I was picking up on the nose. But then once the cinnamon kind of mellowed out a little bit, I was picking up hints of darker fruit, which kind of, you had mentioned that maybe you were picking up some raisins and some other things too. So I was getting some darker fruits there. But the finish for me was medium to kind of longish. And in the finish, I was getting some tobacco and vanilla. I love tobacco and leather on a finish. To me, that just takes me back to my old baseball days, restringing baseball gloves and sticking the leather strings in your mouth, pulling them tight. Granted, I didn't chew a whole lot of tobacco in my baseball days, but I was around it enough to know what it tastes like. So I love those on a finish, especially a long finish. It just, to me, it just brings back those memories and it hangs around for a little bit. I really like this whiskey. I agree with both of you guys. It's a little pricey, I think, for what it is. 120, 130 ish, give or take. But if you're willing to try it, am I wrong in saying that I think they were removing the age statement off the Knob Creek, the regular knob?
You are not wrong.
Okay.
I have heard that as well.
Yeah, so just the traditional Knob Creek offering is currently a 9-year. That is coming off of that. So unless you get, some sort of private barrel store pick or anything like that, you're probably not going to find much over. You're really not going to find anything over 14 years anymore. So it probably, if it's a private store pick, it'll probably be somewhere in the neighborhood of 9 to 12, 13-ish, I would guess.
Yeah.
And I don't know what those come in at. It's been a while since I've purchased one. Maybe you can speak to that, but
it's about $45 to $50.
Okay. But yeah, this being 130 might be a little much, but if you're into that sort of thing, want to give it a shot, it being more of a limited release, it's worth a look. I gave this an 87.5.
Oh, all right.
So that's what we have. We have, what'd you say? You say you had an 89, right?
Yes.
And Rob, what was yours? A 68?
68.
68. As long as it's not 69, we're good. And then I came in at 87 and a half.
All right. Well, that gives us 81.5.
81.5. So that's still not too bad. That's a B.
Yeah, not too bad. And just to let you know, if you read or look at Whiskey Advocate magazine, it was rated an 82.
Wow.
In there, so we're pretty close to that. So
see, that's the power of averaging a score right there.
Yeah. But I do want to read you something that I just looked up because I thought I saw it somewhere. But I don't know if you guys ever look at the Bourbon R blog, but they did a review on there of this, and he in his review he writes, "This bourbon morphed more in 2 weeks than any other bourbon I've ever had." So what I'm tasting and what you're tasting is probably, I wouldn't say completely different, but could be on a different scale. But with that said, we did still get a lot of the same notes and flavors out of it.
Yeah.
So, but this is actually going to be a great one for you to come back and try in 2 weeks and see, how it's changed.
Yeah, and that to me is one of the exciting things about this is, I'm sure, especially speaking for you, Aaron, I don't know about you, Rob, maybe so, but, you buy a bottle and you're kind of let down by it. You're like, what did I just buy? But then you come back to it. I mean, a prime example for me was Elijah Craig 23. And I bought that thing, and it was just an oak bomb at $220. And I was like, oh, my gosh, I just lost in the lottery. But it's done the same thing. It's morphed over time. And, this one, this Knob Creek, the 2001 limited edition, it's not a bad bourbon to begin with. So I'm definitely excited to come back and revisit this one. Even after just pouring this right now, taking sips, 15, 20 minutes after we completed our review, I'm picking up different stuff to it. The cinnamon for me is more prominent now that I'm taking sips to it. So
yeah, I'm definitely getting a lot more fruit as I'm sitting here sipping it and smelling it a lot more as it's opening up.
Yeah. I mean, that's what makes this whole thing fun, man. It's a good time. So that's it. We came up with an 82. Is that right?
81.5.
81.5.
So, if you want to round up 82, you're the one that put the 0.5 on there. So,
Well, then we'll blame it on me. I'm good with those extra points. So no, 81.5. So yeah, if you don't mind dropping, 120, 130 on it, as we've said here a couple times, it is fairly readily available in most areas. I would look at picking it up, and if you're not into dropping that amount, then maybe try to find a store that has a private barrel of it and give that a shot. So that's it. That's what we have for this first episode of the Firewater Review. Plug time. We'll let the guests go first. Rob, where can people find you? Where can people find your lamps?
Sure. It's your first podcast. It's my first podcast. This is the first time I've ever been on a podcast, so I'd like to thank you all again for having me.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you ever want to, send me any bottles, I'm happy to get bottles. You can reach me on my Instagram. That's probably the easiest place because you can hit the contact button. You can reach me via email that way. My Instagram handle is The Rob Company. I also have a website. It's called gorobco.com. That's where I sell. It's kind of like an Etsy, but different. So Etsy doesn't let you actually use your own URL. So I actually run mine through a company called Store&B. So they let you use your own URL. You can have your own, landing page. So
nice.
That's where I have a few orphan barrels up right now. I have a few more Pappy bottles actually made. I actually have a Lot B, and I have what's the other one?
I think you have an Old Rip 10.
Yeah. I have somebody gave me 4 of those. So I have 4 of those. That's one of the ones that I just sent that I'm about to send off this weekend to somebody. But I got 3 more. So I got a lot. Yeah, I got a Lot B. What's the other one? I forget the other one. I apologize.
Oh, you're good. I'm looking at it right now.
I probably could just turn around because I'm sitting.
You've got the Van Winkle Family Reserve Rye.
Yeah. That's the other one. Yeah.
Ooh, I know that because I'm on your page right now.
You're on my page. You're more informed than I am. I probably could pull up my page.
So yeah, that's GoRobCo, GOROBCO.com.
Yeah, I make anything. I mean, it doesn't have to necessarily be bourbon and whiskey. I have everything from scotch to, Sailor Jerry sitting here. So nice. To even Saint Germain, some liqueurs, which is probably one of my top 5 favorite bottles of all time. But
I was about to ask you, what is your favorite bottle?
I was going to ask that as well.
Favorite bottle probably would have to be Johnny Walker Blue. I don't know what it is. It's probably it's one of the bottles that I've never broken. So, there's that.
Something to be said about that.
I mean, when I say everybody sends me bottles, everybody sends me bottles. The 3 Johnny Walker Blues that I actually have came from my dentist. So I got my dentist giving me bottles. So everybody gives me bottles. Actually, his dad, I made him a Johnny Walker Blue lamp, and his dad sent me 3. So
wow.
anytime anytime anybody ever gives, I mean, all my friends give me their bottles. I have a friend who's a avid tequila follower, so he sent me a bunch. Actually, now I say tequila, actually was somebody from Patron actually just reached out to me, and they're sending me the Gran Piedra.
Really?
And the Platinum. So I'm making a lamp for them. So, yeah. So he was an actual salesman there. So, and actually, when I even think about that, I made 5 for the people at Stitzel. So I made 2 Blade and Bows, a 22, and 2 of the IW Harper, the old school, like kind of decanter looking bottle.
Oh, cool.
So yeah. Is it safe to say, Rob, that you've made it?
I'm making it. Yeah, this year has been a super explosive year. Like a year ago, I wasn't even putting hardwood bases on them. So I probably have gotten 900 followers just in the last year. I think I had 200 for like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. Then
I discovered the power of hashtags. People on Facebook love that, by the way. And when I share it to Facebook, I'll share a 6-paragraph long,
right
hashtag
of hashtags. Yeah.
I'm not ashamed to hashtag, even though I hate hashtags.
As you shouldn't be, though. Hey, if it gets you business and gets you followers, that's all that matters.
This Christmas, we just came from Christmas. I sold last year. I probably sold 5 labs. This year, I've sold 18, and that was nice. Probably just the month of December. So I have. I'm making it. So
good.
At some point, maybe I'll get some stuff in some distilleries. That's kind of that'd be great to kind of sell in some stores. But yeah,
that's cool. Very cool. So what about you, Mr. Aaron?
I am on Instagram. You can find me at acave0324. And I do Twitter occasionally at Rocky, ROCKY 0324. I also write for the Sons of Winston Churchill and the Bourbon Zeppelin. So if you're into reviews, which I would imagine you are if you're listening to this, check out my reviews on either of those sites. Seth?
Cool. I am Seth P. Brown on Instagram and the Twitters. I am also on another show called The Bourbon Show. That is also a weekly podcast. We have some great guests on there. We have Marianne Barnes on an episode that was released just a day or two ago. And we have some other fantastic guests coming up, too, on that show. So be sure to check it out. Again, that's abvnetwork.com. Or in iTunes or any of the other places that you find your podcasts. You can find us there, too. There are other shows on the ABV Network, too. As I mentioned earlier in this episode, we have this show, our first episode, and we also have the Last Beer Show, and we have the Bourbon Daily, and we have others coming soon. Like Aaron, I also do reviews on the Son of Winston Churchill. That is sowchurchill.blogspot.com. That is our good friend Hassie Berg that is running that site. So you can find reviews there. I'm getting ready to kick off a full 1792 lineup, starting all the way back from the 8-year age stated all the way up through the High Rye release. So that'll be fun. Look for that. But that is me. I'm not really on the Twitters that much, but I'm Seth P. Brown there too. So that's it. That is a wrap. Reviews. We do like reviews. If you're in iTunes, that's where you find your podcast. We do like those reviews. Give us those reviews. Give us feedback. We like to hear what listeners have to say about the show. We learn from it. We appreciate it. That's it. Rob, thanks for being on, buddy.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for breaking my podcast, Jerry.
Hey, there you go. I'm glad we could. We'll have to have you back on, man.
Yeah, Jerry,
anytime.
Popped.
Yeah, absolutely. Aaron, it was very nice to finally talk to you, sir.
Yes. And one more thing. You got a new Instagram page up, right?
Yes, we do. Thank you. I completely forgot about that, and I just set it up yesterday. How quickly I forget. Yeah, do you want to tell people about that?
Sure. Yeah, you can follow us on Fire Water Reviews. We'll be posting what we are reviewing and what we're doing, and just maybe some random pictures here and there. I am known to visit distilleries every once in a while for barrel picks, so you never know. I think there was a post up today about it, so just check us out, and yeah.
And if there's anything that you would like for us to review, feel free to leave a comment anywhere. We'll check it out. And if one of us, oddly enough, don't have it, then that just means if you want us to review it, you have to send it to us.
Yes.
I would like to request a Johnny Walker Blue.
There you go.
You can send me another sample, because that would be great.
There you go. First request.
There you go.
So that's it. Check us out on the Instagram as well, at Firewater Review. And that's it. We appreciate you listening. Cheers.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Cheers and salute.
See ya.
The Firewater Review is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening, and cheers.